Ford made our job easy this year by giving us a track-worthy 5.2-liter V8 that needs no forced induction to make 526 horsepower and the Shelby GT 350 Mustang. There was no argument on this one. Here's a clip.
The superlatives abound in our editor's notes on the latest Ford Mustang engine. A Mustang V8 for the ages. Pure displacement for the 21st century. And the Grammy for Best Engine Note goes to, yes, the 5.2-liter V8 in the 2016 Shelby GT 350 is that good, punching out 526 horsepower and tire-shredding torque without any atmospheric assistance. From its flat plane crank to its spray-in cylinder liners, there's no denying the amount of innovation and passion that went into this engine. This is the pinnacle of internal combustion engineering. At the same time, it's surprisingly easy to drive for a high-performance muscle car with a manual gearbox. And when we weren't goosing the gas, we saw fuel economy nudging 19 miles per gallon. Do what we did. Turn off the radio and turn on the Shelby soundtrack. Brilliant.
I want to thank Drew and the entire award's editorial staff for this recognition. In addition, I'd like to thank all the suppliers that helped us make this program possible and also this event possible, so thanks for your continued sponsorship. But most of all, I want to thank the Ford team that made this program possible. So if you guys, I know there's a lot of you here today, so could you mind standing and getting some recognition, please? So when Ford decided that they were going to do another Shelby GT 350, this team, this engine team, took this task very seriously. They had just a few key things that they did want to accomplish. Many things, but I'd say several superordinates. First, they wanted to make the grandfather very proud. And that the grandfather being born in the 1960s, as I was. Also, they had a few challenges. They wanted to get over 100 horsepower per liter, naturally aspirated. They said we have to get to at least 8,000 RPM, red line, and it must be distinguishable with just the start of the engine. So the other thing, of course, is they said there would be no compromises to Ford's rigid durability requirements. This is a production car. So how did they do that? Well, they started with our great 5-liter architecture, which already had variants approaching 90 horsepower per liter naturally aspirated. And they said, we want to go further, we know what else we need to do. But I think like any good set of engineers, they said we also need to know who the best out there is, and we want to benchmark what they're doing. So whether it was very exotic sports cars that wouldn't make this competition because of their price, or some of our friends across town, they looked at everything. And I have to say, some of the benchmarking engines challenged the price of our complete vehicle when the guys wanted to benchmark those. But it was well worth it. So let's talk about how the team did. Well, 102 horsepower per liter, naturally aspirated, an 8250 RPM red line, and a 5.2-liter flat plane crank, the only one in the industry to have that type of displacement V8 flat plane crank. And they did all this while meeting Tier 2 Bin 5 emissions and Level 3. And I think this is just truly remarkable to myself. Of course, I was not part of the team that did this. I was in Europe when this team was working on this. But as I look at it, I think what a wonderful accomplishment. When I was a child, I know with all the gray hair, that was a long time ago, but even the most exotic race engines could not deliver this with that reliability. I never would have thought in my lifetime that this happened. So the entire Ford management team, along with myself, are very proud of what you've accomplished, and I am very honored to receive this on your behalf. Thank you.